Hi, my name is Christina Somerville, physical therapist and owner of Somerville Fitness. Today I'm going to talk to you about knee pain. So if you come to see me and you have knee pain, yes, I will look at your knee. But your knee is a simple joint. It's a hinge joint, so you can flex and extend the knee. There's a little bit of rotation available at the knee as well. In comparison, the hips and ankles and feet are much more complex. The hip is a ball and socket joint, so it can circumduct, abduct, adduct, flex, extend, rotate externally, and rotate internally. That is lots of different movements that your hip is capable of doing. Your ankle joint is able to dorsiflex, plantar flex, invert, evert, and there's different combinations and angles. So again, much more complex than the knee movement. And your feet are very complex as well. 25% of your joints are from the ankle down. So there's just lots of joints and lots of movements that you should be able to do. And if you can't, if this gets stiff and weak, which is very common, this affects what happens up at your knees. If this gets stiff and weak, imbalanced, that can affect your knees a lot. So the knees often are the victim and not the cause of the knee pain. So footwear, these are minimalist boots that I have. Footwear should be able to roll up in a ball like that. You want a lot of freedom of movement so you can use your toe off naturally. You want room for your toes to spread out and wiggle. And you do not want a lot of arch support. Most people benefit from actually having little to no arch support so the muscles in your foot can support your own arch. So wearing minimalist shoes or going barefoot is a nice little workout for your feet. If you're going to transition to minimalist footwear, you might have to just do like an hour at a time and build up your tolerance because your feet aren't used to it and it can be a workout. So switching to being barefoot more often, walking barefoot, walking in barefoot shoes is one way to counteract modern footwear and imbalances in our feet and ankles. When you're walking, ideally your hip extends behind you and you use your toe off. So ideally your shoes let you do that. And ideally your toes extend enough to do that. If you don't, that's another thing you can work on. So using your toe off, extending your leg behind you helps you activate your glutes more naturally. If you take smaller steps and don't extend your leg behind you and don't use your toe off, then you are underusing your glutes. Another thing to be aware of, since we tend to sit a lot and have the tightness in the front, the weakness in the back, is that when we're walking, we may not extend at all at the hip, or instead of extending at the hip, we might extend at the lumbar spine. Since this is stiff, this is weak, and a lot of times this is weak. So that is something you want to resolve. You want to activate your core, activate your glutes, use your toe off, and make sure you're extending at the hip. You might feel a stretch in the front of the hip when you're walking properly, especially in the beginning when you're not used to it. And if that is just all not flowing well for you, then I would definitely see someone to help evaluate you and give you some exercises to help you get better at that. So if you're walking with hip extension, using your toe off throughout the day, that can help balance out what's going on in your hips. And a lot of people pick up their leg and put it down when they walk over and over again without doing much of the extension. They're focusing on the front part. This, over and over again, can be hard on your joints. Lifting the leg, kind of letting it drop to the ground. It might not feel like much, but over time, that can cause issues in your joints. If your gait can come more from the back, toe off, using your glutes, and use that to propel you more, that is definitely a good thing to work on. So I hope these are some ideas that can help you if you're having knee pain. This also can help with back pain, neck pain. What's going on with your lower body can definitely affect what's going on in your upper body. So try them out. Let me know what you think. And if your knee pain persists, definitely see a professional, a doctor, a movement professional, to give you some help and evaluate you properly.